Ṣẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ bájò, ṣẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ bájò, olúwa mi ò dìde ojó
The Ashen Forge. The Ashen Forge.
Hello and welcome to the Ashen Forge. I am Phantom X, joined as always by Diggs and the legendary Neurotoxin. How y'all doing?
Doing all
Pretty
right.
good.
Little bit of delay, but we are here. Yeah. So week 2, Diggs, have you been playing?
I've not been playing. I've only watched you play a little bit.
Not at all, huh?
Nope. I am doing Lego stuff, and so this past week I started playing around for my machinima, because I'm doing horror story for Lego Fortnitemares, which is kind of over, but I've got videos to finish. I was doing scores, so old time horror 1940s horror scores, and I found some music using Udio, which finally got me what I wanted. And then next, I've started playing around with, thanks to Ashen's of Creation talking about it, AI voiceovers. So I'm doing other stuff. And Fortnite just dropped their new season on Thursday, Friday. New battle pass, new skins. So that's the thing I love about battle passes. Finished one, you finish another, and then it's time for the new one. So there's always new stuff to do. But Ashes, you playing Ashes has been kind of interesting. It's pretty buggy.
It's pretty buggy, but at the same time, pretty smooth also.
I don't know. I saw those mobs didn't look too those mobs didn't look too smooth popping in and out, jumping on
but
Phantom's
the game doesn't
ass
crash
out of nowhere.
What were you watching?
Huh?
Were you watching today?
I was watching, yeah, wolves chasing after you, popping
Kind
out
of
of
come out of nowhere.
nowhere.
Yeah, there's some stuff still. There's a little bit of stuff, a little bit of server issues that need to be fixed. I honestly
Yeah.
don't know that they were any better this week in a performance perspective. I feel like they got they obviously seem to have done a good job with the DDoS stuff. Like
Yeah.
that was much better.
That for those that don't know, that mostly pertained to logging in. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a login server. Once you got in, you were persistent. There has been a queue. There has been a persistent queue. So their queue is also seems to be working. I played a little bit. I think they're still playing actually. Was on with Gladys and Royer, and sat at position 36 forever, but finally got in. It's kind of weird. It like went 36 and it took like 15 minutes to get to 27, and then all of a sudden it popped me in. So I don't know how they're doing their queues. If it's where you log out matters, or I don't know if it's a server worker. I have no clue. But queues were noticeably a bit. Now I also have been playing at like 5:30 in the morning, so part of why I've been getting it at 5:30 in the morning is I don't have to deal with any queues. I can just pop in, and there's no one there. Playing with EU folks, or EU folks are mostly watching. I'm still playing with some NAs, but popped in, get a group, get going. I don't know, Neuro, what do you think? How do you think the servers are handling this week?
They're definitely doing a lot better. The work that's been going on in PTR to improve the server stability when going across borders, when there's a lot of dense movement going on in an area, and some of that other sort of stuff definitely is paying off. Like the work that was done during the last work week is really showing through this week, and I'm really happy to see how well it's been going. A lot of Q related stuff is working a lot better. Nobody's getting their characters bricked by Q related issues anymore. Um, there's a lot of those things that were just like completely destroying the gameplay experience. Not just the DDoS last week, but other sorts of things that they've worked a lot of them out in the past week. And with the 8th coming up, this next week is going to be super duper busy over on the PTR stuff. So I'm eager to help out, even though I'm still using the 3080 that likes to crash constantly. That said, the video behind me is actually about an hour of gameplay, and I think I'm doing the goblin cart thing right now and do some vending, sell the glint from it. I think I go do some crafting on this one, get some of my leather gear going. Not a bad session, actually. Got the bard up to level 7. I think I'm about halfway to 8 now. So, yeah, it's been, when I've been able to play it for, decent amounts of time, it's been fun. And I definitely appreciate where a lot of things are at. That said, I'm laughing at myself, to myself, about myself when I think about the crafting in game, because every time I think about, golly, I had to switch to leather because I can't get any freaking metal or stone anywhere, anytime, but it's easy to find gems and like get daffodils and poop and make the cotton so I can make the River Stalker set. And I gotta say, the River Stalker set, if I'm a little bit low, we can adjust that. The River Stalker set on a Vec, it looks good. It looks really, really good on a Vec. And so that's been one of the other nice things is I think this is more than the metal armor, more than the cloth armor, the leather set, more than the metal and the cloth. It just looks so damn good on them. So I'm happy to be able to do that. The helmet, the cape, the whole everything, set bonus, kind of neat too. So I've been enjoying that. I was able to buy my weapons, the copper spell book and a copper spell sword off of vendors. So at least I have decent versions of those, and I've started going in just straight up hacking things, slide in with the thing that gives me Bard Pep, and then start whacking away, get myself a shield, maybe heal myself a little bit here and there during the battle, and I'm taking on same level 1 star. Things that are maybe 2 or 3 levels below, I can just walk into a group of them and wipe them all out. So it's starting to like the progression of the levels once you start kind of getting into your gear a little bit definitely feels satisfying. Like every level you do feel substantially more powerful. So that's
What
all
level? What level are you, Phantom?
All right, now I need to take digs down. Hold up. I'm trying to balance you all.
But anyway, the thing I was saying about the economy is
I hate
anytime I
volume.
think about how difficult the economy is to work with in some ways, I just laugh because this isn't even close to how the actual economy is going to be, how the actual gameplay is going to be like. And by the end of phase 2, we'll actually start having those systems in. We'll see what the real crafting system and the real gathering system, the real distribution of materials and their qualities and so forth is going to be like. And that's when I can really give them some feedback.
So have you been soloing or you been by grouping
Oh
or what have
yeah.
you been doing?
I group every now and then when I'm doing a common quest with people, like when I did the caravan earlier in this video behind me. I group when I see other people doing the same quest I'm doing, but usually after that, if I'm not doing something else with or around them in the same area, I just go my separate way. And yeah, it's actually not been a terrible experience soloing with little groups here and there. If my system was more stable, I would probably be in the 10 plus range and probably would be grouping up with people a lot more right now. But I'm enjoying, that if anybody says that there's not enough quests to do in Lionhold, that's bull. You might not be able to complete all of them because they might have like something broken here and there that they need to fix. That's whatever. But other than that, yeah, there's actually a lot of quests to do in Lionhold, and they will get you ever closer to level 10 if you do every last one of them.
That's the long
Uh,
way about it though.
It is and it isn't. I mean,
Level
it's the narrative way, which is kind of the way I want to play. I want to see the story. So if that means doing every last
what
quest,
story? There ain't no stories in yet.
sure there
Little
is.
bit, little bit. So you're on level
There's
9. So you're at the really big first big jump of experience then.
I'm at 7 still.
Oh, sorry,
Not
7.
quite to
Oh,
9.
you're not even to 9. Yeah, once you get to 9, so 9 to 10, the experience gain needed to level jumps up just a lot. So
Yes. 9 to
uh,
10 is a big fat hen,
it's a
as the kids
non-linear
say.
curve. I will say though, if you get in a group and you're in the right places and you don't mind grinding, so I'm level 15. Probably could have made my way to 16, but um, I had to pause. I don't play as long in the morning, Sunday mornings, because I know we'll be on the show. So, but healing's been still a ton of fun. Um, but yeah, there have been certainly some buggy ass stuff. Today, it's been the bears actually. I'm not sure what it is about bears, but
They have a ton of health and they do a bunch of damage. They probably have armor piercing
hey,
like the
Snow
wolf.
Elf, thank you for the raid. Appreciate you. Why did that just?
well, but it's interesting because from what I could see, they like will kind of pop up kind of at once. I mean, you find yourself suddenly in a pack of mobs, and then you can't necessarily tell which one are gonna leash onto you and which ones are gonna ignore you. And then, you know, I think at one point by the time, because you saw one wolf and then another one popped in behind you. Um, and so that's just the thing that makes that part difficult is you can't tell. Well, the other thing I noticed, that mini map is just so weird. The maps could use some work, it seems like, but
Definitely. No
I
argue on
mean,
that.
I like being able to see mobs on my mini map. It seemed like you couldn't really see them, or I don't know, maybe by the time they pop in, yeah, I don't know how mobs work
we
with.
we used to be able to see all
Yes,
mobs and all
well,
players, and then they changed it a couple of times, and now it's only mobs who are actually pursuing you are shown in red dots. So I do agree with you. That needs to be something that needs either a little tuning and refinement or maybe a little bit of player choice on what things they want to actually see and how they're color coded or even shape coded for people that maybe don't use colors as much.
Yeah, yeah, there's some the other thing is not just mobs popping in and out, but yeah, your view distance is kind of weird. They just show up. There's packs of everything. Um Stuff just sort of wander and it's not even wandering. It's just there. So the AI controllers, I don't know, um don't seem to be functioning basically. Because you
mm,
have packs of things just joined at the hip, then you have
mhm.
things, well, I haven't had that happen for a bit. Um, yeah, I'm still having. I actually have the client open, and it's caused my screen to flicker. Anyways, still having some VRAM issues. So you also have a bunch of these monsters on the the roads. They're just hanging out, and so you really have no safe way to travel at this point. If you're not careful. I died once because the stuff just sort of hitting me out of nowhere. Yeah, you can move the UI around quite a bit. Actually, moving the UI around Arctic Wrecking is easy. It's nice. The only thing bad about the UI is you cannot adjust the size of the text yet. So the text gets quite small. But yeah, today we had an issue with bears. Yeah, Blank said that was where I was going. It started, I think, actually yesterday. I've done a lot of grinding in the Ursine caves, and that's largely just going to be bears, and there's some mushroom stuff down in the bottom. And it's what I've come to find out. Side note: do not go there if you want gear. It does not drop gear at all in that area. It drops very little gear. So I am level 15, and actually Planendorf was in the stream this morning, and I showed him my gear, and he basically laughed at me. Like be level 15 and how the crap that I had was, and I was still healing really well. So I need to get some gear, and then I can heal even better. But yesterday these bears started just leashed onto me forever, like forever. It's I was streaming as it happened. And it was this hilarious behavior. It would take a few steps, and then it would get on its hind legs and like growl at me, and then it would get down and run a little bit more and do the same thing. And eventually we had to it wouldn't let go of me, so I had to pull it back to the group, and the group killed it. And then today, I don't know what I've done to offend the bears, but we were back in the Ursine caves, and I'd see at one point I died a lot today. You die a lot in Ashes Creation, by the way. So, and I died
Phase
a
one.
lot today. I died a lot today. And I was running back. I was trying to go in the backside of the caves, and I ran by a bear, and it started attacking me. So I jumped down, and I was literally within eyesight of seeing my group, and all of a sudden I got teleported back to the bear, and he mauled me, and went back down there again. 3 times I got teleported back to that damn bear. One time I was actually in the bear, like my screen, I was like physically in the bear. And then it finally mauled me to death. And that was interesting. That wasn't the only time though. All through following that, we kept having bears just randomly spawning and attacking me. Seemingly out of nowhere. At one point I was again literally in the bear. Like I not so much in the bear, I died, and my screen, you know how you follow around your characters, you move and everything. My screen was following the bear. Like the bear was still attacking people, and it was like I was a monster coin or something. It was really weird. Like it was the focal point. Like I was the bear running around. It was like their viewpoint. Clear bug. Um, so I'm gonna try to edit all that down. And it's hard to find little bits like that when you have like 5-7 hours of streaming. But just a lot of weird shit with the bears. I don't know. And I tried getting Planendorf to believe me, but he thought that he didn't. He thought it was something else going on. But I don't know what I did to offend them. And it was like they're playing with me because I died once, and I had to respawn. I was the only cleric, so nobody could res me. So hit revive back to the Ember Spring, and I got to the Ember Spring, and all of a sudden I popped right back into the bear again with them in the cave and died again. It was kind of crazy.
Sounds like Steven did find you and turn Monster Coin on for you. I hear he was up to shenanigans with content creators.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we watched them. So this is a great weekend for them. Again, I think this weekend has gone very well. We can get into soda popping, but later. But yeah, I mean, to have them sort of jump in and do the things he did was a lot of fun. I don't know if I'm sure everybody already saw, but late Friday night, Saturday morning, they killed Steven. Steven went corrupt, and
Who is they?
as a group of people. Royal was there. I Am Royal was there though, because he
Hmm.
and I don't know what happened. Steven should be like a god, should be immortal. But if you watch Warrior's video, like he goes, they can't heal it. They're not hitting him for shit. And then all of a sudden he goes from 3/4 health down to nothing. So I don't know what happened, but he died, and Warrior looted all his stuff, and he got four for like really legendary items and ran away. And then
Wait. Items?
yes,
Because Stephen was already corrupt?
Because
because
he was corrupt.
he was
Yeah.
corrupt.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
He was corrupt. So Royer got items off of him and left. And what is hilarious, his God mode tier ran out. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It was crazy how fast he dropped. Royer was still streaming and they were out doing something else. I think he was like explaining armor sets or something. I'm not really sure, but all of a sudden he thought he was disconnecting because he froze. And he literally like says, "I am disconnecting." And the next thing he knows, he's in jail with Steven. And it's just hilarious. That was the funniest damn video. If you haven't watched it, it's I Am Royer. Go check out his stuff. He's content creator for Ashes Creation. I'm sure everyone that's watching has already seen it, but leveled him down to 1, wouldn't let him go back to his regular level until he gave him back his stuff. And then he killed him. I'm pretty sure he killed him and teabagged him. Just hilarious stuff. I love it when the developers get in and do stuff like that, especially when they're so busy. I'm sure it's fun for them. But he did it too. He also brought and jail, by the way, is in Carfin, the Tower of Carfin.
Oh, that's funny.
But he I think he also brought Thor Pirate Software, and I think they did role playing stuff. And then he also brought Narc in there. He took Narc to jail. Narc did shave his beard, actually. So they had a bet going about whether some of the other zones were there or not. But yeah, he gave, I think he gave, Narc already had a flying mount because he's a mayor, but I think he gave him another one. So it was fun like that. Yeah, I wish I'd have been there. I would have, I was telling Planadorf, like, Steven owes me a 1v1 anyways. Just take me up to the Carfin jail. Oh, you missed the
It
beard
looks like
shave?
you got it with the bear.
Well, I
Just
swear,
not.
I got paranoid enough. Like, it was happening frequently. Anyone that was watching, like, these damn bears just kept, and just the weird stuff that was happening with him. Like, I don't know, it was weird. I was getting, the paranoia in me was like, somebody's fucking with me, or sorry, somebody's messing with me right now. So
No, we're not supposed to use profanity anymore.
I just need to keep it in check, I think. So,
Ah.
it was going today, heals. Yeah, I was healing 8-man group, but it's I think it's in a good place right now. Things need obviously a lot of improvement, but as far as you as a, well, yesterday they did have a lot of disconnects too, so there were some issues yesterday, and they brought the servers down. I think the big thing they had, well, there were a couple. I think one, there was, I think they said a commodities trader that if you sold anything to them, you lost all your money. And then also there was a relatively other nasty bug where if you hit any of the minotaurs, potentially you would disconnect.
They fixed that one at least.
Yeah, because we were fighting those today. Actually, we were fighting them quite a bit today. So this is little, you always wonder how these little things these little bugs find their way into the game. Sounds like a feature, not a bug. Yeah, it had something to do with like the cloth, or I don't know, an armor or something. I don't remember, but it's been fun.
Speaking
So
of cloth and armor, that reminds me about inventory, even though inventory is more resources than, I guess, cloth and armor. But it just had me thinking about bags for some reason. How are you liking inventory management?
It's all right. I mean, all of your items go to a fairly hefty sized bag. You're not going to run out of space. Not unless you're just like a wacky hoarder and you don't store stuff at storage places. Even then, it's hard to fill that damn thing up unless you're just, intentionally filling it with junk. The material storage, well, that can run out pretty quickly. You can get bags to expand it if there's, things you're getting a lot of. You can get bags to optimize for that. The novice bags, they used to give you a little bit of extra stack bonus. They don't anymore. But just having a bit of extra space, they're not resource restricted. So if you got, for example, a mining bag, but you decided that you want to throw your flowers or different levels of droppings that you found into the mining bag, you're not at any penalty for doing that.
What does that mean? You are able to, as long as they fit the
Yep.
slot?
So it's a 2x2. I couldn't put a log in there, for example,
Uh-huh.
because that's 3x1.
Yeah.
And likewise, the logging bags that are for 3x1s, you can put individual 1x1 and 1x2s, and the narrower stuff in there, but you can't put
Mm.
wider stuff. So copper fragments, for example, the metal fragments when you break down ore and process it, that's 1x2, not 2x1, 1x2. So you'll or maybe I got that
What's
reversed. Either way, you wouldn't be able to. You'd have to put that in like a mining bag instead of putting it into a lumber bag, or you just keep it in your general bag.
what's the default stack size for, I don't know, like general
20,
wood or
20.
20 for
Yeah.
most things.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's been okay. Yeah, the material stuff definitely you have to play around with. You have to be careful because you can go out and fill that up pretty quick. They've improved a lot of the mining stuff as well. That was an issue last weekend. The respawns weren't matching the people playing the number, so that's been fixed. So that pretty much now right around the starter area, it is hard to still find some of the stuff, but if you go out a little ways, you can find granite and basalt and all these things to mine if you want. I've not seen any rubies, so those are getting mined up. But yeah, the bags are um, going to take a lot of people getting used to, I think. The main thing that sucks is I hope they do create, I hope there's eventually some sort of bag or augment on a bag that helps you lose less materials on death. I know they've talked a little bit about maybe creating bags and items that sort of have stats like that. That sucks, man. Yeah, Snow, if I haven't seen rubies anywhere now that I think about it, but yeah, losing your materials just sucks.
Get good.
We it'll be here in a little while,
That's one of the
folks.
things about playing solo that I like too, is if I find something really nice, it's like, oh, well, I'm just gonna haul my ass right back to town, throw it in storage, and go back out. No need to risk losing this. Sell my glint along the way. The way I
Sorry,
do it.
but
Uh,
like today in the Ursine Caves, I mean, I died a lot. I died a whole lot, and because stuff just comes running straight to me as a healer, and it got to I wasn't even checking my inventory anymore because I knew all my glint was basically gone, um, which is okay, I guess. But I mean, that is part of the reason to go to Ursine is you get a lot of glint rather than gear. So
Mm.
and
if
poop.
you're
You're gonna want
yeah,
to poop.
that too. Um, and so you go to Highwayman Hills and you get a lot of armor, and that stuff's not going to drop. So, um, yeah, dropping your materials absolutely sucks. That's worse than the debt, the experience debt. That goes away super fast. I think the highest I got up was like 5%, which was like 3 kills. I don't know, 3 kills, and it was gone. Um, um,
Sounds like it will be interesting to see how they adjust both of those and kind of balance those out. XP versus material loss for death penalties. That sounds, I mean, that's not what phase one is focused on. Phase one is focused on stability. Um, but it'll be interesting to hear the feedback from that and see how they respond.
Sorry, I'm reading in chat. There's been a couple of things with Pirate Software Thor's Guild. Um, they just linked a Reddit post. I guess it's the concern about, I guess, his guild monopolizing everything.
Where? Like a specific realm or all realms or
Just one
what?
realm, wherever they end up. I think correct me if I'm wrong, folks. That's what I'm getting out of this. Yeah, because I guess there was something happened. They declared another guild kill on site.
Mhm. It
Stephen
wasn't
respond.
envious.
No, we'll get to Envious. Actually, I got a piece of information about Envious that I thought was interesting. So Stephen responded by saying the drama was fair play, which it was. I mean, that's what he
Mm.
wants. Stephen,
Yeah.
that's what he wants. He wants these big guilds to be rivaled by a collection of smaller guilds. Like if they do come in and they rule everything, then he's trying to create a setup where you gather around people and you go kick them out as best as you can. Yeah, they're in Narkstrom. That's right. They're in Lineth, I think. Um,
I know. Mhm.
yeah. It's really cool. Everybody's working together. All the mayors, I think, have been really working together to make sure they are um, kind of built, working together on what gets created. Um,
See, I thought you were telling me that was unlikely to happen when I was talking about how to have a PvE server, and I said, when mayors work together and they'll decide, okay, we're ready for this one to be destroyed because everything is stagnant. They'll
they're not
they'll,
talking
they'll
about
work
destroying
together.
each other's nodes. They're not doing that.
I know, but they're talking
Narc's
about
not over there
working
saying,
together.
"Hey, come destroy my node."
They aren't saying that, but they're working
Well,
together to
yeah, they're
come up
working
with
together.
story.
If one of
Well,
yeah, but
that's
if one
what
of
you.
them threatens to kill the other one's node, there's gonna be conflict. Um,
Well, there would be discussion about that, especially on a PvE server. There
nah.
would be discussion about that.
We talked about this. I've said that one of my concerns about just nodes in general is this idea of the path of least resistance, right? That people will get comfortable with what they have. They're making their money. They're doing their, they're having their fights. They're doing their raids, and you don't have the intended PvP conflict because everybody just sort of gets in a comfortable place. This seems to be almost a beginning part to that where you're collaborating. Now all it takes is one person to get pissed off and sort of alliances to fall apart. But um, I think the path of least resistance is a real thing. So here's the summary. So they got so this is Pirates Guild, I guess, got jumped, responded by declaring official guild war. The jumpers threatened a ban attempt. Thor labeled them kill on sight, and then they apparently posted on Reddit complaining. So yeah, guild drama. It's going to happen.
Threatened a ban attempt? What does that even mean?
Yeah, they were going to report. It sounds like they were going to report everyone in his guild to try to get them banned. I don't know what that means, but I don't know how you would even do that in
You're
the
just
game right now.
wasting the CM's time, and if you're putting that in as bug reports, you might actually be asked to stop that shit.
So, it's got a lot of comments. 274. I'll have to read through them all later. I don't know. That's just what it's supposed to be, right? I feel that with 5 nodes, it's easy to manage mayor meetings, but when you have over 80 mayors, that will be crazy.
Well, yeah, I would imagine groups within regions. That would be the plus or minus where the metropolis regions would end up. I would imagine that's where you might see the most amount of collaboration, and you'll probably see the least amount of collaboration across kingdom borders, unless it's an area that's like, doesn't matter what kingdom we're in, we're going to control these 4 nodes here and work them in the way we want to for the sort of benefits we're looking for. I expect there will be some collaboration in smaller regions, but not like some node over here and some node that's 15 nodes over this way having meetings where they're talking about the same sort of economics, if it's anything other than pulling valuable ass resources between the two and trying to make it happen.
I have a question about PTR. Did both of you play PTR this past week?
Yep. I I've been feeding the tech team very, very useful recordings of gameplay alongside the logging. And right now I am basically waiting to hear back from Cryostat when they put in more GPU fixes and when they want to get more logging to see, how it's going for me and how I've been how I've been able to play, in terms of stability and what sort of issues are still happening. So,
Hmm.
it's going to probably be a little bit of a slow process with that one, but instead of trying to tweak the graphics card to work better for the game, I'm just going to continue to run it with a straightforward installation that most, normal users would do and see if they're able to work out all the issues so that it isn't a problem. And it could also be that there might actually be issues with this graphics card. I got it second hand. It's mostly fine. But, if some of this stuff is also just bugs on my end, eventually we'll get to that point and be like, yo, we can't replicate any of this stuff. You got a funky card. Then, I don't know where I'm going to go from there. Maybe just put the 2080 back in.
So there's a question about nodes. So nodes are sort of the biggest part of player-driven change here. A node is a defined area within the map. And there are what 80 how many nodes? Each node can level up and level down. You can ultimately get to a
Well,
metropolis.
wait. Level up or
Well,
be
they don't level
destroyed.
down. They destroy, get destroyed. But they're player run basically. You have a mayor that sort of makes decisions, and that hopefully introduce conflict if people get upset with the person running it, and that is sort of where your PVX and stuff starts to come in. And players just can declare node war. They can kind of hopefully cause world change through their actions. But the nodes are really the central part of Ashes that makes it work as it's been designed, which is a world that is responsive to players. That's why I purchased it. For Kickstarter was nodes. That all being said, we still have not really seen fully fleshed out nodes yet at this point. We have 5 right now, and they are, I guess, technically on the map set up differently, like militaristic and scientific, but they are basically the same node. And they do not have all their levels yet. So still a lot of work, but nodes are really fun.
So what does that mean? What's the highest? You're on Vira,
Yes.
and what is the highest node? What's the highest stage of a node on Vira at the moment?
What do they?
3,
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah,
4,
I think we might
3,
have some
4?
towns at this point. I think a lot
I'd have
of
to go
them have
look.
made it to encampment,
Hmm.
but maybe 1 or 2 of them have made it to town.
They've all
Okay.
leveled really fast, actually. There's been enough players that they've leveled pretty quick. Yeah,
And
that's what I was about to get that, Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, phase 1's capped at 3.
okay. And then PTR, what did you get bumped up to? 25?
One
Uh,
time it was 21, one time it was 25.
Okay. Hmm.
So anything you
And
do contributes experience to the node. Sorry, and that is what levels the node. So that can be fighting stuff, that can be harvesting, crafting, anything that causes your character to gain um, uh, experience causes the node. Sorry. If you're having trouble buying tickets, I'm not sure what to tell y'all. Just log into Steam Elements. I don't log in, log out. Make sure you're on the right account. Um, I'm not sure what to tell you. It's working okay. Everyone else is doing it. So I'm gonna get back to this real quick. But I want to go back to real quick. I passed over it. There was something about Envious that I think it was this morning. I'm curious everyone's opinion. This is just what I heard. I'm not on their server. Obviously, they're on Resna. But someone came into chat this morning saying that they had guild members going into each of the nodes to vote so that they could vote in an Envious person as mayor and then go drop citizenship and run to the next one, get citizenship, and again do the same thing. Vote an envious person as mayor to try to collect all of the nodes. Yeah, I'm not sure how everyone feels about that. That obviously should not work long term. There
Yeah,
is
no,
a
you're supposed to, when you leave a citizenship, you're supposed to be out for
yes,
30 days. So
exactly.
they're exploiting. I would say if you've done it once, great. Now you know it works. Report that. Give them a good, what for about how to replicate it, and then don't do it anymore. Or otherwise, maybe you need to be told, all right, figured it out. Thanks. Don't do it anymore.
Is that an
It's
exploit?
it's not representative of intended gameplay. So yes, it is an
I mean,
exploit.
you can have spies. I don't. That seems like it's not too different than spying. It also seems like
Oh no,
they
it's
should.
it's that you're not supposed to be able to be voting in more than one node's election without a 30-day gap in between. And because you have to be level 10 to become a citizen of a node, it's not something where they're just spinning up a bunch of alts and then grinding them to level 10 and doing it the legit way. They're doing it an exploitative way that is using a lack of the mechanics to reinforce this behavior from not happening, while it's not there, and they're just cheating with it. So yeah, okay, so you figured out that you can do it. Great. Once again, do it once, file a report, don't do it again. Level up your alts, get your alts to level 10, do it the legit way.
So you strongly believe that this is something that the devs did not anticipate and or haven't. They're planning to code for it, or they will
Yeah,
code for it, but they just haven't gotten around
it
to it
is
yet.
100% an intended feature that you are not supposed to be able to join a new node once you've left a node. So it's the fact that they aren't focusing on that, they're focusing on stability. So they're not going to stop working on stability to work on this other feature that they've
Mhm.
already told us isn't the way the game's going to be played in live. So, once again, in the name of testing for science, you can do it once, fill out a report, and tell Intrepid about it, and then you stop doing it. You have done your science. You have proven it. You have provided replicable steps. That's all you need to do. If you're starting to use it to continuously gain and maintain advantage, nah, that's being exploitative. If you want to do that, you can have 5 characters. There's only 5 nodes. Do it the right way, brother.
Did we get a response from Intrepid about that? Like when did it happen? When did people start talking about that?
Oh no, you don't have a response. I don't think I don't think there will be. They got too much other shit going on. It's
Mhm.
also
Yeah,
it's
again,
also
they're
envious. I
focusing
mean,
on stability right now, not that
yeah,
sort of stuff.
it's also
Yeah, but it
envious.
it seems like Steven has popped in certain places to say, "Hey, I'm not happy with what you're doing."
Yeah, but I don't think I
He
don't think they're
might he
Okay,
gonna.
might
no,
be
no,
very
I don't
much
know.
just a enjoy it while it lasts sort of thing right now.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yep, I was just wondering.
Um,
It's
I'm in the
very
middle. I don't
much.
know. I can see where some folks, yeah, it's an exploit because especially the fact that envious has been PI forever, right? They have their people know this game. Their people know this game very well, and they know that you are supposed to have this cooldown between citizenships, and they also equally know it's not there. So,
Yeah.
um, I don't know. It's an alpha. I don't know. Do you go to the route saying, oh, it's just an alpha? Um, I think you do have to worry how everyone else's experience is, even though it's just an alpha, and if it's going to make people
Yeah.
upset. I had another person join this morning when we were streaming. Excited, got in for the first time, was playing and got PK'd like right away. Like, those are the sorts of things that players, I don't know. So this is similar, you're trying to get now. I don't know. I guess it probably matters more to big guilds than anything. Like Rive is. I'm in Genesis. Rive is our guild leader. He's also the mayor of Winstead. I'm like disconnected from that. It's not like I'm sitting there, like in his ear. Hey, what are you doing? What do he's the leader. He's making his choices. So I don't know. Most people might not care, but I do think you have to. Yeah, I don't think they need to be punished or anything. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they would anyways. But yeah, I don't know. I think you do have to be a little bit careful of what everyone else is experiencing. That goes, like soda popping. I think it's actually, hold on, let me see if it's plays here. We added some channel rewards and let me see if it works. I'm not going to be able to hear it, but
I don't know what the fuck a node is. I have no fucking idea.
there it went. Yeah. Soda Poppin', of course, big streamer was on and had a hilarious blow up. He was playing it. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what a node is. I don't know this. He just quit. He just like rage quit. But I think there's a point hidden in there too that yes, you're an alpha game. You're trying to work on your servers.
I don't know what the fuck a node is. I have no fucking idea.
And you kind of have to have a little bit better of a new player experience. I mean, I think doesn't have to be perfect, but I think there's a hidden part to there that actually does kind of make sense despite his lashing out and rage quitting. So,
there could probably be content to be had in just putting on some chill music and streaming the one of the server channels or the general chat and just sitting in there answering everybody's questions. I'm having problems with the login. So I'm do this. They say, I've crashed. Is this something we're looking for? You tell them, yeah, report it here, or no, not at the moment. If they ask where's Mankirk's wife, you can say out in the middle of the Barrens. It's you can help people out and probably just do an all-day thing of that. Not play the game at all, but because you've played enough and you know where the stuff is at, just be like, sitting by the door. Hey, welcome. You need any help finding your way around, buddy? It could be an interesting way to approach the content creation, though. I know it's not nearly as flashy as playing.
And now Steven's.
But
And now Steven's teabagging me as well.
Questions and just ask in chat.
There was a thread in the forums from someone complaining that the content was too bare, not enough content, and most of us responded
will tell you that much.
Most of us responded that we're not expecting. It's not a content test; it's a stability test. Phase 1 is, so we're not super surprised that there's not a lot of content. Shouldn't be super surprised that the player experience part isn't reasonably fleshed out, because it's really just a stability test, primarily phase 1. But as I was looking for that thread topic, I ran across something where it's saying nodes cannot level up quicker than once weekly. And then when I look at the original post, it's saying that people miss. I don't really understand what it means, so I'm hoping you guys do.
I think
Watching him play,
once
the development process, he missed it. What is it? How do you miss it?
Sorry, I'm fixing audio. I don't know which I would listen.
Yeah. How do you miss the node leveling to the next stage? How can you miss it?
I mean, you don't, if you're not present when it occurs, you will not witness the action going on.
Oh, maybe that's what he meant. 90%. Oh, 90% missed it when it popped. They weren't there to see it happen.
Yeah. that sounds about right.
I've not
Okay.
seen one change.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know that I was that I wanted that as a thing. I mean, I'm curious about what it will look like, and I hope if you're there, it doesn't look strange. Um, but that was not something that I was necessarily expecting to
And
witness.
now Steven's
Is
teabagging me as
you know
well.
be there when it pops. I don't even know why that would be a super thing, but okay.
No, it sounded like their intended design for that is if you're within the proximity, you will be pooped out to some safe area outside of where it's going to be rebuilt upon itself. And then when you see the dust clear or whatever it might be, there was that whole building process demo that we saw in one of the dev streams, and we haven't seen that in a while. So I don't know if that's going to be part of the art of it and everything going on, but the way it sounds is maybe the influences, the artistic influences on the area might change a little bit for the culture that's more dominant now. But by and large, it's supposed to radiate out from the core to further and further sort of districts and neighborhoods and such. So it'll look similar to how it did before, except there's a whole new suburb around it.
Yeah. Thank you.
So we got November 8th coming. Friday, going to be another big day. And I think that it's looking like, I'm curious everyone's thoughts. I think it's looking like they're going to probably open at least one more server for both NA and EU.
That makes sense.
There was some questions. It's largely unknown how many of these keys have been sold. We kind of talked about I think this weekend they would really get a good feel for how many people are going to be here next weekend. And given the fact that stuff is still queued, as this was 6 o'clock on 6 p.m. on a Sunday, and I was still in a queue waiting to get in. I think they're gonna open some servers. So
Mm-hmm.
you're muted. No.
Yes, I am. I didn't want the ice rattling around. No, the time to play is at like 2 a.m. Pacific on Saturday night while you're waiting for Pacific time to change over. Yeah, that's actually when this here was recorded. Nobody was around. It's like, all right, sweet. So if I keep on crashing, I can just keep getting back in real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, like I said, this one was a bit of a longer session. It still ends in a crash, but whatever.
That could be a problem. Asmongold is apparently going to be playing this Friday.
The Dracor's live gameplay from Alpha 2 is now full NDA lifted. PTR that occurs during the week is still full visual NDA. You can talk about it, but you're not supposed to share any photos outside of that testing, which is funny because I think, if I'm not mistaken, they disabled the watermark stuff. So they're like, be very, very, very nice about this. Don't be naughty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been really weird because they pushed out patch notes basically every day. They stood up the PTR. I mean, they've been working really hard.
Yeah, long hours too.
Yeah.
Starting early, staying late.
And there was this really weird question of like, all right, visual NDA. So we obviously can't share screens and videos of the game. Are you allowed to share screens of the Discord? Like it's an NDA Discord. Are you allowed to take pictures of that, screenshots? and there wasn't really a good answer. So I think there were some Twitter's folks that I appreciate the Prime image. Appreciate you. And yeah, so I
Yeah,
have a Google
I
Doc
think the
that we could bring.
resolution on that one was just to be safe, copy and paste the text.
Yeah, and actually I can probably find this. Ooh, I just covered up your cams, all of our cams. I did not know that would happen.
Oh well, it's fine. It happens.
I'm gonna actually. Oh shit, where did it go?
Hoping
Okay.
they wipe the current servers. Well, if they have to, I suppose.
No, no wiping the current
No,
servers.
I think it'll be nice for people to come into, I guess, what's going to be the early equivalent of mature servers, the servers that actually have people in them and around in all the spaces and more well distributed. I think it's more worthwhile to have that and have a lot of the players all spread across the area than forcing everybody right down the server worker 6 and 7 pipeline, or I think it's 6, 7, and 12. Right there at the start.
So I just put in a link for Google Docs, so that's where all of the patch notes will be. That is the ones that are in there now are from last week, but these are all your PTR patch notes. So if you keep this, it will get updated as we go, and you can look at it as we get it. So, but yeah, so I'll go back real quick to this thing with Asmon. If all these bigger streamers coming in, I wasn't super worried about Asmon today because nobody could have joined him, right? You either had access or you didn't. But if he's starting Friday, well, now the other thing that changed over the weekend that I liked was that previously, as of Friday, if you did not have Phase 1 access, you could no longer buy Phase 1 access. After Friday, it was going to be Phase 2, which was December 20th. They changed that. I think, on Friday morning. So now anyone watching can come in and join him. So yeah, the Q boss is going to be very, very interesting. And I hope that they help direct people to new servers. I really don't want to have to grind to 15 again if I can avoid it. I really hope their wipe policy stays true to not being that often. I've had fun, but the idea of doing this multiple times starts to get a little bit tiring. So, it's
Just
fun
thinking
healing.
about it. Yeah, so directing people to new servers, because in the character creator, it's a little bit better maybe than it was the first time, maybe a couple of weeks ago, or maybe I just maybe now that I'm more familiar and I'm looking around, I was able to see it easier, but um in the character creator, it doesn't seem like because it doesn't immediately give you a list. Like you have to think, oh, I know I don't want to be on this server. Let me see what other servers there are. Right. Now, I don't know if you think that. I'm not really in that mode of thinking the first time I jump into a character creator to create a character. I'm just thinking, create the character and then jump in. Um, And it does make me think that, yeah, 90% of gamers are just going to jump into the server that they see. Well, might not even see it. They're just going to finish creating their character and then click log in or play or whatever and jump into wherever they end up.
That's what they'll do.
Yeah.
That's what happened over.
Half at least. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's happened. When we did when they first had the stress test up, it defaulted to Resna. So Resna had a queue, but the others did not, because everybody was just defaulting into Resna. Right now, for some reason, everything defaults to an EU realm. At least for me.
Hmm.
That definitely needs work too, because actually, as of right now, also, when you go to your realm uh, view, it does not tell you how many characters. Like, it doesn't tell you where your characters
Mhm.
are. Everything's at 0.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
I guess little things will
Mhm.
take time, but
But those could be big things. Those could be big things for trying to get people in on November 8th.
Sorry, reading chat. So we trying to think what else this week. So remind me again, Neuro, what you've been playing. Because Diggs, you played a fighter, but you've not played this week. So
Yeah.
I continue to enjoy the Bard. It's I feel like a better soloing experience than the cleric because there's a
Mm.
lot more that supports being a frontline fighter and being able to take a bit of a beating and a bashing without being too squishy about it. So use the two-handed spell swords and the book. And I actually like the synergies I get off of both of them. Not that I have anything that synergizes with chill necessarily, but being able to use the book to chill enemies and kite them for longer while they're trying to get to me, I can usually throw a tomato at them once right at the start of things and then be able to cast that again by the time they've actually gotten to me. Uh, if they're not a same level or higher enemy, usually I've already gotten them pretty low by the time they get close, so I can just hack them down with the sword, or maybe I will put the shield on or cast the bouncy note spell. I also like the ability to incapacitate a bunch of enemies nearby and then do the dark lullaby thing where they take a bunch of damage while they're incapacitated without it waking them up. So that's there's some nice features and nice tools there to help with survival.
at
So
this point,
that's mostly, but again, because like a combination of focus on bug testing and focus on enjoying what narrative exists in the quests that exist, and the constant crashing and not wanting to be a hazard for the rest of the people I'm playing with, I mostly just roll solo. It feels like it's the easiest way to go.
so it's going to take you a bit though. Get what the best way to look at it, right?
It's gonna take me until they get that GPU stuff fixed up, and then I'll probably be more
Yeah,
confident joining groups.
I mean, you come hang out with me. The
You're usually done playing by the time I wake up.
well, yeah, that's
You're up
true.
at like
Noggins.
6
Yeah.
a.m. like a
Now it's
responsible
6
doctor. I'm
a.m.
waking up at like 8,
No,
11.
we had the time change. So this morning I was up at 4:30. We were
Oh
alive by
wow,
like 5:30, I think.
damn! So we missed each other by like an hour.
But for you going to sleep.
Yeah.
But no,
I was up very late.
yeah, the a solo kill is going to be 300-400 probably on average experience. When you're with a group, because if you're in a group of 8, so here's the best way to put it. Solo, my experience so far has been that you can no stars, your own level are fairly easy to kill. You can probably do 1-star monsters that are like a level or 2 below you. 2 and 3 stars, obviously, you're probably not going to take on your own. But then when you're in a group of 8, like we were taking, most of us were 14, 15, 13 to 15 and the Ursine Caves today. And we were fighting level 19 stuff, 19 3-star stuff, like way above us. And it's totally doable with the group. And then you're getting 2,000-3,000 experience per kill. A lot of the there was not many items. The items that did drop in there were level 20 or higher. You couldn't even wear them anyways. So grouping up definitely just gets you a huge change in experience. And I
100%.
will say,
It's not that I don't know that. I 100% know that.
sorry, I hope the work week doesn't get in the way of Ashes tangent. Thank you, but If we were able to play Ashes during the week, that might be a different story. But we'll see. With the Bard, I almost don't at this point. I almost don't want to be in a group that doesn't have a Bard. That's how valuable the as a healer, at least as a cleric, that I have found the Bard to be. Because mana management starts to, especially you get into some of these other areas. If you get a bad
That's
group,
the
or
dance I've been doing. I finally realized,
Mm.
no, the one I need to do most is the mana regen.
yes,
That's my dance.
it I had a good group today, but
Or
I've been pugging a lot. I've been trying to play with a lot of different people just because I wanted to. I of course have Genesis, but again at 5:30 in the morning, they're not. It's hard sometimes to find guild people to play with. So, trying to think of the guy's name today. Long Dong something. Long Dong Wong. He was our tank, and he actually was not that squishy. But the mana regen, yeah, without a bard's an issue. I can put Blessed Weapon on a ranged, a high DPS range character, and that regens my mana pretty well. But if I pair that with a bard, like mana's no problem, none at all. Typically, without a bard, it's noticeable that you have a bit harder of a time trying to manage your stuff. So, yeah, I don't want to be in a. It's harder with actually the last group I had with Vladis and Royer and them. We did not have a bard, and it was noticeable. So it's nice. It's nice that some of that
Um,
is clear.
so you've played about 30 hours to get to level 15?
Oh shit, I don't know. Probably, yeah, because I mean, each Saturdays I've gone probably about 7 hours. Sundays been about 5. And I've not done a ton in between on my own. Most of what everything's been on stream. I've probably about 2 hours, 3 hours in off stream.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
but again, once you get in a good solid spot, it's not that bad. We went from 13 to 15 this morning in about 4 hours. So it was not that terrible. Um, well, I guess depending on who you talk to. So I was happy to go from 13 to 15 in that period of time. But it's a grind for sure. I think at this point, I know we started the weekend with at least a couple of people that were 20. I don't know if we'll finish with people at 25. I'm not. I'm pretty sure there were some envious folks that were at 20. So we'll see. I guess.
And then sieges are supposed to be possible with stage 3 nodes. And I think we have some stage 3 nodes. Are sieges are players able to initiate sieges?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Yeah, there's still a lot missing. Right now, it's just networking.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's not just networking, but that's what the
Yeah, for the
focus
most part.
is.
Do you think you can hit max before 100 hours of gameplay? Oh, I'm sure there's some people that will hit max before 100. Sure. The other thing that I've noticed that's a little bit wild for being at Alpha 2 Phase 1, you start getting into some of these groups, and it's really is all about efficiency. Um, oh, we need another DPS. We don't want this. We want that. If we take this class, then our efficiency goes down, and we're getting less experience per hour. I don't know how much of that is just natural gameplay versus the fact that we only have Friday, Saturday, Sunday to play. And so people are just trying to get as much as they can in the weekend. And so there's just a much larger focus on being efficient. But I've
Because
definitely
phase one
noticed that.
is almost over.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely noticed that like, groups are pretty selective about who they pull in. Um, well, some groups, and it's all about trying to be as efficient as they can.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Um,
some people like to get sweaty, and that's fine. I mean, you need people to be able to play some of the mid to upper ranges so you can get a better idea of whether the balance is right or not and how well players are doing or not. So it's not a bad thing that there's people that are playing like that, but um, I feel like it's going to make a lot of people burn out real quick if they keep on doing that over and over. after each, potentially after each wipe. I was saying in chat that I don't expect wipes any less frequently than every 6 weeks when they put in their major updates. And even then, if it's not something that blows up the current data and balance of things, then they might still just let it keep on rolling and just, suggest people try making new characters. But if they really need to get, more new user data, new character data sort of experience, the easiest way to do that is to blast all the existing characters. So if they need to do it for science, they'll do it for science.
Well, but they wipe the PTR, right?
They do. I think it's going to be wiped by the time we get into it next time.
Yeah, they did
Yeah.
last week too.
Yeah.
What is this? What's the least popular class currently from your experiences? That's hard to answer, actually.
I think it's Ranger.
I mean, I've played with a fair amount of Rangers.
Nobody wants to play with the laser gun?
The Ranger's the best to put blessed weapon on, for me as a cleric.
Fair enough. All right. Well, maybe I'm mistaken on that.
Well, no, I mean,
Why?
It could be then that there isn't exactly a least popular, that everybody's doing everything. Well, you'd think it'd be tank, except that groups really need to have tanks, and they like to have tanks. So a good tank is very important.
There's also a lot of healers, a lot of clerics, surprisingly. I feel like last weekend when I started, there wasn't as many, but there's definitely a lot more, because you had a lot of global sort of looking for clerics, and now I've been in multiple groups that have 2 clerics, 3 clerics. 3's a bit much, but I think ideally you would have 2 in an 8-man group, solely
Two
because
makes sense, so you can have 2 rezzers for one for the
exactly
other.
that's the exact reason is to be able to res everybody efficiently, because you can res in the middle of the game. I wasn't sure how I felt about that initially, when they kind of talked about being able to do that. But it does add in, I think, more positive aspects than negative. Your tank goes down, you got to kind of plan. All right, do I got everybody topped off? What's coming? Can I actually pull off the res and get them up and get them healed? So it has actually been kind of fun being able to do that. So
Why is it better to bless the Ranger's weapon?
just DPS. Yeah, just that
For
man the mana regen is just going to be the mana regen I get back from it's better. You have to
blessed
spec.
weapon for. Oh, go ahead.
So blessed weapon has different specs, right? So you have the base thing that the base skill that you get, which adds damage to whoever you put it on. That's a type. I think it's holy damage. I'm not remembering for sure, but and then you have 2 different options to put skill points in. One just increases some of the damage output, and the other is mana base.
Is it radiant damage or holy? Radiant?
Right. It might be both actually. Radiant, maybe fire. There's 2 different types, but you have to put in points, a second point to get both types. But it's and Planendorf also, because we were talking about this morning, because I didn't have a ranger in my group, so it was on a fighter, which didn't work as well. And he even kind of confirmed to you. He said, "Yeah, range DPS, all the way for that." So, but yeah, that and the bard together, your mana regen is really good.
If you want to be efficient, if you want to be meta, sure.
Well, because right now too, your mana regen alone is not existent, basically. Even if you sit, it's just not. You have to have something to eat.
Rations, eat them rations.
Yeah. Do you guys know if they're going to be wiping for November 8th? I don't think they will. I hope they don't.
Probably not.
Yeah. I don't think you have people put in 100 hours and then you wipe right away. When you've promised everyone you're going to try to not wipe as much as you can.
How do you like the fact that mounts get more health, but has to slowly regenerate, or you have to heal them when you summon, because they still summon with the default amount?
It just needs to be fixed.
Yeah, it's just silly. It's like I summon my horse. Hey, who beat you up? I mean, who gave you so much more HP and didn't fill it in? I will restore that before we get riding. Not that it matters.
Yeah, my mount, I'm still kind of trying to decide whether I like the fact that mounts can be killed. yesterday, I was all the way over in Miraleth, which is, of course, Jamie Chaos's group. Quirion is the mayor there on Vyra. So the Cult of Chaos and all of them. And I was just selling my glint, and then I was actually was having to run all the way over to the back to the Ursine Caves for a group, which is like complete opposite end. And one of his guild members just looks at me and waves, and all of a sudden my mount goes poof, and they killed it out from under me, which then you can't respawn it for 10 minutes, which made that run even worse because it's already a long run. But then I didn't have a mount. So, anyways. All right, guys, we are about 10, 11 minutes towards when we usually stop. I'm going to really quickly, because I know several of you are waiting. Where did it go?
Yeah. So while you get that going, I did want to put out a shout out because we do things in base 10, episode 150. We had a lot of time when we were doing it every other week. We had a lot of time, especially like the December, January, sometimes September, February as well. Have this kind of lull in the action where we just kind of disappear for a little bit. And now that things have warmed up, we're finally ramping up. It's not that we haven't played Ashes before, but I will say it took 149 episodes for us to play Alpha 2. So I guess 150 to start talking about our experiences comparative to the last time. So here we are, everybody. Ashes of Creation. It's playable, and we're going to keep on playing it going forward to the finish line. Then the subscription fees come in.
Yeah. This has been fun. This is, we've been waiting, 7 years to really get a persistent state, some sort of persistent game that we can play with. And yeah, this has been fun. This has been.
I don't know. Alpha 1 was probably more persistent than this so far. More persistent than phase 1.
What I mean is there at this point will not be 3 years in between being able to actually do stuff. So that is what I mean by persistency, is that it is here now. So
now I don't want to rain on everybody's parade, but I will say there's the opportunity, the possibility, the perchance of after Alpha 2, before Beta 1, they still need more time to get their content and stuff in order, and more time becomes 3 years. I don't expect that to happen, but never say never on things like that. It would be far too late of a release unless Beta 1 and Beta 2 just jam through real fast. So I don't think that's actually what's going to happen. I think they're still going to be working on many other elements of content and balancing once they're all feature complete, and they'll keep having us involved with it. So, looks like we've got one there. Can West 5478.
What are you talking about? Here? No, I've not drawn anything. They're just checking their giveaway. I was waiting for you to.
Oh, never
mind. Yeah,
no,
we've not drawn. It's still going right now.
You didn't win anything.
All right, guys. Yeah,
properly.
We are at the end here, so I am going to close this. I'm going to close this in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We will do further. We will do further giveaways, so you can keep your the points and things you get. Actually, you can use later. So if you didn't get everything in today, you can use them for later. So, all right, we're only pulling one right now. This will be our 8th key given away over the last week or so. So we've been doing a lot. That's not, I'm hopeful we get actual keys from Intrepid somewhat soon. But again, anything sub, anything super chat, we're just pushing back into keys. So we'll do some more probably on Friday for all of you that get to join us November 8th. But all right, guys, we are going to draw. As a reminder, you have to be in chat. If chat wants to help me see if people are here. Don't try to pull one on me over on me either. I'll give them 10 seconds to try to say, hey, I'm here, but then we're gonna move on. So, all right, guys, drawing the winner. There we go. Are you here?
Shubsy. Shubsy,
10
are you
Mississippi,
here?
9 Mississippi,
Shubsy.
8 Mississippi.
I am not seeing them. Are they here? Yeah, Rod. I didn't draw you. You all saying I'm here. I don't see them. Does anybody else see them? Shubsy? No, I don't think
Saucon
so.
West.
All right, I'm gonna give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Still not here. So we are gonna move on. Yeah, somebody just put them in here. I don't see them. All right. Y'all are gonna be mad at me if I don't move on. So we're gonna move on. All right, next person up. Draw another winner. Let's go. Are you
Dragon
here?
Kiwi 7. Dragon
I
Kiwi 7. Are you in the chat? Are you following?
No, usually when Stream Elements does the name, it does not actually, and it doesn't highlight. They're not usually here. You're here.
Oh.
Perfect. All right, we did get somebody. So there's our winner. I need you to make sure your DMs are open so that I can message you here. So
And you don't get a key, and you don't get a key, and you okay, you get a key.
yeah, I'm sorry guys. I know it always sucks when you don't win. I promise we will do more.
No, I meant the people who weren't here.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what I noticed Narc was doing today? He also put in because he watches our shit. I know he watches our shit because I went into his stream and he shaved. So I just typed, look at that face, like to see. And he got pissy at me and said, "Go give away keys, man. Get out of here." But he had the same command for key, and it would just shoot you a message back that said something like, "Haha, you're not in," or something like, "Haha, you're not playing." It's hilarious. Kind of mean, but hilarious nonetheless. All right, guys. Dragon Kiwi, I need you to respond. Oh, there you are. All right. Stay with me, Dragon. We will talk. Actually, I'll type this real quick. Y'all have anything last to say? We got 4 more minutes.
I'm ready and excited for the next week of PTR. And I'm looking forward to the giant fixes and changes and upgrades and improvements they're going to be making over the next few days. So that way, when Friday rolls around and people start coming in and the DDoS starts bouncing off the shield wall, that we're able to have a much better and smoother new user experience for this big new wave of players that will be coming in. So good luck for that, everybody that's testing. Thank you very much for having the time during the week that you can spend on it and being able to actually be effective when you're doing it. We're finding some things. We're helping out. They're making changes, getting better. Keep it up. If you're in PTR and you're around when they do PTR, jump on that PTR. If they're doing active testing, jump in that staging channel, hang out, do some fun stuff, report some things. It's good, fun.
What are you able to say that? What group are you usually in on? Well, maybe I mean, you join in to the various groups. You know what I mean?
In
In Discord,
PTR?
which Discord group do you join, or are you not doing that?
Oh, PTR has its own separate set of channels.
Yeah. But have you guys chosen one that you normally go in? No?
Well, there's only one PTR server, so it's just like, are you in the bug chat? Are you in the main chat? Are you in staging?
Okay.
Are you in voice chat that your own, make your own voice chat or make your own push to
All right.
talk?
PTR doesn't have separate channels. All right.
Yeah, it doesn't. There's only one server, so it doesn't have like Fire and Lyneth and all of that sort of stuff.
No, not that, not realms. I'm talking about Discord channels. Discord channels.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like what other channels add? We'll talk about this later.
Okay.
But yeah, they do. They have a bunch of channels that's exclusive to PTR.
All right, guys. Well, we are going to. I thought about streaming some more tonight, but I'm kind of tired, a little bit tired. So, I don't think I'm going to. Sadly, I will be live tomorrow night though, just doing some more conversation like we usually do. Um, like to share the love, so yeah, I'm gonna play with you. Yeah, get on in, and we will play on Friday. We are gonna raid, of course, like we always do. We've not raided Lou Lloyd, I think. I don't know if we've ever raided him. Be careful when you're searching Lou Lloyd's name; you will get some very bad stuff if you don't use two L's. He is another. He's a content creator, really good dude. I actually played quite a bit of games with him. Um, we've rated a lot of the other folks already in the past, Richie and Royer and everybody. So we like to share things a little bit. I guess there's pockets. Maybe we'll do pockets next time. But yeah, we're gonna send you on over to Lude Lloyd and say hello from us, and appreciate everything this weekend, y'all that have hung out with me and tonight with us. And I'll be back tomorrow, and then yeah, we'll be gaming again Friday. So time gets a little bit different this during the week. It'll be 8:30 p.m. that I start going on during the week. So yeah, so I think the last thing I got to say. Anything else from y'all?
Nope. Looking forward to talking about the new wave of players next Sunday.
Yep. And y'all get on Vira, come play with me. So all right, guys, I'm gonna send you over. Have a good week, and we will see you next time.
Later, everybody.